Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Pensacola International Super Speedway for the 34th race of the 2021 NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series. It's the last playoff race where a win will punch your ticket into the finale event next week at Chicagoland. Samuel Dyer is on pole, Zachary Fitzwater Sr. is to his outside, and I'm joined by Vince Freeze.
That's it, baby. What if I told you 33 races, 4 countries, 18 states, roughly a one cutoff race, and we are down to 7 drivers who have a chance to pull in victory lane with the Game 7 moment? They say pressure is a privilege for some, but who will defy the odds and who will crumble under the pressure tonight? It's Pensacola. It's the Sunshine State. Who will shine brightest under these lights for the 4th time in Florida in this 2021 season? Back to you, Zach.
Fitzwater coming up short from a win at Papyrus. Sorlin got it over him. Row 2, Charles Sanford, Priya McShane. Sanford has won 3 races in the playoffs this year, 8 total on the season. McShane starting 4th, looking to cut that gap to Matt Rod. Actually, heck, forget cutting the gap. She wants to take 30th from him tonight. 7-point difference between the two for 30th in the standings. And we very well could see McShane locked into a race next week at Chicagoland. Sorlin and Onjak start in row 3. Sorlin, of course, just mentioned, locked in with the win from Papyrus. Row 4, Nate Rogers and Seth Cole. Nate locking himself in there with that strategy win last week, outlasting Dylan Young at Homestead. Nothing for him to worry about in that Code Red Mountain Dew scheme tonight. Seth Cole, though, he's got to try and find a way to get back into victory lane at a track he won at in 2018. And in row 5, the arguably now second best super speedway driver, Amanda Evans, with Carabelle to her outside. They start 9th and 10th. Vince will go over the drivers that failed to make the race and our other past winners over the years.
Yeah, we got Christian Vargas, Lane Sanders, Diego Pez, me, Will Parrish, Derek Campbell, Adam Flickerton, and Trey Smith all missing the event. As always, in 2017, we have James Qualls. 2018, Seth Cole looking for a win tonight to block himself. Same with Kev Shear, the first Pensacola race in 19, and Patrick Sick, also in the double race in 2019. James Selly, last year's winner, won a chaotic race. And now this race usually tends to be one of those races where we have a nice calm lap 1 or 2, get maybe 4 wide, but then lap 3 or 4 is the danger zone. Right, you usually get a big one. We see last year how at the end of the race we had a big wreck with Fitzwater, too, coming off pit road. Have to watch that. Should be a fun one tonight in Pensacola. A lot of great names that are looking for a win at Game 7 moment, but that's enough for me. In 3, 2, 1, hit the command. That's all from me.
Going from the back of the grid. Playoff driver starting most to the rear is Jessica Shelton, but she is on the inside line. Kev Shearer right in front of her. You see Nico Tringali a few rows ahead on the outside line. Now these 3 drivers have had the worst playoffs out of the 11. Tringali at the bottom, Shelton above him by 12 points, and then Shearer above Shelton by 19 points. There's a 20-point difference from Kev to Seth, and then a 21-point difference from Seth to Nate Rogers. And then if you look at the top of the standings, there's a 40-point gap from Allison Rain to Samet Oskin. So Oskin, Sanford, Fitzy, and Zorlin have been the best drivers in the playoffs through 8 races. And it's shown as Zorlin, Sanford, and Oskin are all locked in on wins. Fitzwater, though, is not. Dylan Young got outlasted by Nate Rogers last week at Homestead. He starts on the inside line, as does Allison Rain. It would be crazy if Allison Rain, who won 3 races early in the season, is not locked and punched into the finale. But it's Pensacola. Go ahead, Vince.
Yeah, no, I didn't think it happened. I think that's one of those things. We have a lot of people that are rookies. I always say this: one moment, one opportunity can change a life, change a career, and also one win here for us. Say Kev Shear can change their entire trajectory. StarCom, I don't think they've ever imagined getting in a finale, for example. Those stories and more to come, I think, in these 40 laps.
Well, I'm going to make a playoff pick and a non-playoff pick. I'm going to go with Kev Shear, who won here in 2019. And as for a non-playoff driver, I'm going to go with Peter Onjak.
I'm going to go with William Brock, like I always say at these plate races. And for a playoff, I still think Fitzy's the man. He's got to get something done. But that's enough from us. Here we go, Zach. Green flag about to happen.
Dyer leads him to the green, and we are racing at Pensacola. McShane making a jump to the top, as did Charles Sanford there. Actually, no, I think Sorlin made a move 3 wide. But 3 wide there, behind Dyer and Fitzy. As you see some more 3 wide in the pack. 4 wide, here's where things will get dicey, as Sorlin will make a move looking for the lead. There's the 4 wide already. And Vince mentioned it, lap 3. Heck, lap 2 maybe. We might see that first big crash that Pensacola is known to bring.
Great move by Fitzwater, Zach. On the outside, we did talk about this. The outside can make some runs. As you see, Amanda Evans and Sam Young, 2 strong cars on the bottom. Sam Young's looking 3 wide. There's Seth Cole and Rogers.
There's a lot of 4 wide going on here. That's where things can get dicey. Dylan Young is in one of those situations. They can hold 4 wide if they keep the doors even, but if they offset the doors and they start making some rubbing, that's where things get pretty bad pretty quickly.
Here comes Allison Rain looking 4 wide for the lead.
Rain's going to put the teammates in the middle 4 wide, and her teammate all the way on the top. It is 4 wide through almost the entire pack, Vince. This is dangerous.
Yeah, that wreck near Ferranti could happen.
They might be 5 wide at the back of the field. They are. They were. They're back to 4.
Save it.
Kev Shearer is going to get out of a 4 wide situation there as Henderson drops to the bottom. But Rain leads him at the front of the field. How about James Ellis and Kukulon? Jessica Shelton has made it to the front.
Yeah, Ellison looking. He's been strong these last couple weeks in this Cup Series. Top 15s, 20s. That's what he needs to do as a rookie. As you see, it's an Ace and Brock to the front here, and Matt Rod.
Well, we're on lap 3, Vince. No crash yet.
Could be lap 4 coming to lap 4. Look at Fitzwater back there 5 wide. That don't look good.
Oh, they are in a hornet's nest back there. Oh, yeah, it's like 3 rows of 5 wide. I don't see this working out much longer.
It'll be tight. I think they made it work. I don't believe it.
How are they making this work? That's about 3 rows of 5 wide. Oh, right there it is. There's the crash.
We're in the turn 1.
Charles Sanford, Sam Young, Fitzwater, Seth Cole, Samet Oskin, Zorlin, all involved. Fitzwater and Seth Cole, a heartbreaker especially. Ferranti and Stephen Colon in it as well as they race back to the caution. Thought we might have had another wreck, but they've just split the pack a bit here. And that is probably for the better. Leader at the caution flag will be James Ellison. This is where you want to be a little careful here, slowing it down. Don't want to run into anybody.
I'm minding their P's and Q's here. You see Edwin Justice.
Well, that
on the apron.
That, Vince, that was the first 5 wide wreck in Pensacola history, I think, for the Digital Storm Cup Series. We have never gone 5 wide before, and I think the drivers learned, yeah, we probably should never do that again. But the fact that they held it down the front straightaway was quite remarkable.
Yeah, they were going 3 deep. 3 deep, 5 wide just doesn't work around here. But yeah, under the front stretch, you would think it would happen when it gets tight at the end of the front straightaway.
Sam Young must be struggling to see because his hood is all the way pushed up. That's a tough break for Seth Cole and Fitzwater, man. 2 of the most consistent drivers on the season. You know, Seth only got the 1 win at Watkins Glen, but he's been a fast driver all year. So they took it to lap 4. Now that's going to impact the strategy here, Vince, because you pit here lap 5 to lap 6. You can make it 15 laps on gas. Oh, we're actually having some big-time strategy here. Shelton will pit. Let's hold that thought. Shelton will pit. Tringali will stay out. So Tringali, the only playoff driver to stay out. But Ellison, Ace, Rogers, Brock, Roush, and that is, I believe, Matt Rod there. They have all stayed out here under this caution. Now, what I was going to say is, pitting here will get you the lap 21, and then lap 36 if it stays green. Less fuel if you pit at lap 36. These guys are going to have to pit around lap 15, and then the lap 30 if it stays green. So they are going to have to take more fuel. And then, you know, draft they always get split up on their green flag pit stop conditions. So, you know, this is an interesting call, especially for Tringali. You know, I think his better bet would have been to pit. If they get a caution, though, and he's on the lead lap during the pit cycle, it would greatly benefit him, as long as he's on the lead lap. But Shelton leads him out of the pit road. Several drivers working on fixing damage. Let's go take another look at that accident. Taking a look at our first caution of the night. And they were 3 rows of 5 wide back here, and we have never seen anything like this at Pensacola before. Let's see, where does this wreck start? I think it starts about here with Kev Shearer and Alex Ferranti, I want to say.
Kev Shearer's just peeking underneath. There's a little side draft there from Ferranti, and they're all side drafting. There's Landon Smith. He's getting tight on the quarter panel.
Oh, it was right there with Stephen Colon that clipped him up into Ferranti, and then everybody goes into the outside wall. Seth Cole nowhere to go. That's a tough break for Seth, and especially for Fitzwater. Surprised nobody got propped up onto the outside wall. We usually see that here. But a tough break for all these drivers tonight. Drivers like Colon, Ferranti, Sam Young looking at what would have been maybe a chance at a first career win. But we've got 4 playoff drivers in this wreck, Vince, so let's take our onboards. On board with Samet Oskin. Just had no idea. On board with Charles Sanford. Into the wall, quick spin, and back under power. On board with Jonathan Zorlin. Three of the 4 drivers locked into the finale involved in this one. We've got 2 more onboards to show y'all. On board with Zachary Fitzwater Sr. from the eyes of his cockpit. Just nothing he could do. Lastly, on board with Seth Cole. Oh, and he got on the brakes, but there was just no time. No time to avoid that. Tough, tough break for the Watkins Glen winner. Let's get you guys back to the restart. Getting ready to go back racing. Stephen Colon, Jonathan Zorlin, Seth Cole, Fitzwater, Sam Young, they are all done for the night. Kev Shearer had a brake problem under yellow, but they have managed to get it to pit road and fix that issue. He will restart at the back of the field behind the damaged cars of Ferranti, Oskin, and Charles Sanford. Top 6 drivers stayed out under yellow. They are James Ellison, Ace Rogers, William Brock, Matthew Rodriguez, Scott Roush, and Nico Tringali. Shelton the first out of pit road in 7th, Henderson 8th, Nate Rogers 9th, and Andrew Rich 10th. If we look for the rest of our playoff drivers, Allison Rain in 14th place, Dylan Young in 20th, and then of course Sanford, Oskin, and Kev Shearer at the back. Shearer has got a clean race car. Oskin and Sanford of course with damage, as this looks like Quinton Morse got some damage too. So Priya McShane though, in her battle with Matt Rod, she pit. Matt Rod didn't. That might help her at the end of this race if this thing goes green. But for the time being, she is way in the back, and Matt Rod is way at the front.
In this restart here, you see everyone mind their P's and Q's. It's like William Brock's going to make a move. Rodriguez going to be step to the outside.
Remember, Vince, we mentioned that Toyota, we've mentioned it a lot in the playoffs, Toyota's last win, points paying win, came at this racetrack in 2019. And it was the number 20 for Joe Gibbs that won it. Brock's up here. This is a Kyle Busch Motorsports car this season. It'll be a Joe Gibbs racing car next season. You know, who has the best chance to win this thing? Is it JGR? I think only Edwin Justice made the race for them. KBM's got both their cars in here. And then you got the Red Bull cars that both made the race, Chung and Carabel. You know, anybody can win this race. And right now, William Brock's the one going to the lead.
Yeah, William Brock, he was just strong in Arbor Digital. Same with Priya. They seem to be the two that were dominant. Now, the question is, they have to pit, though, and that, I don't know. Taking less fuel is the key here. More fuel, barring a caution, could cost them the win. As you see Ace Rogers, and there's Jessica Shelton. Needs to make something happen.
Jessica Shelton going 3 wide on Ace Rogers, looking for the lead now on William Brock.
Side draft there, Andrew Rich. We talked about his incredible playoff run he had, even though he's not in the playoff. 2 wins, the only other guy to really spoil the party.
How many of the drivers are still in the lead pack? It looks like Moore, Oskin, Ferranti, and Sanford all got held up, or are just slow actually. Shearer, it seems, got held up. So he is struggling to maintain the pack. Oh, that's a tough break for Kev. He just couldn't get by those slower cars fast enough. He needs a caution if he's going to get back into this thing. There are still a ton of drivers up here, though, Vince. 31 at that. So I think the odds of another crash are pretty high.
They're high, as you see 4 wide. Just for a second there, Cole Deaver underneath Rogers, Rich, and Brock. Now Brock will slip back. Look at Levi McIntyre on the bottom and Flickinger. Cole Deaver hasn't won since Meadowlands 19, and now we got the 4 wide in the front. Someone on the apron.
Not sure who went to the apron. Oh, yes, someone is on the apron. That's Logan Williams. Does he have a problem? No, he must have just got clipped or something. No reported issue for the 34. He'll come back onto the racetrack. Maybe a dicey situation. Wanted to talk about this while they're up here. We talk about Toyota not winning since 2019. McIntyre's only career win, Bristol Dirt 2019. Cole Deaver's last win, as you mentioned, Meadowlands 2019. And of course, Red Bull hasn't won a race since 2019. It's just 2019, Vince, man. For some teams, the last time they had success.
Yeah, what a time to be alive it was in 2019. But anyway, as you can see, we have some single file. Looks like the 4 wide is calming down. There's Allison Ray looking for that win. It'll be her 7th win on the year in terms of Cup and Jerky Pro.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Don't confuse me like that.
My bad. You know me with numbers. But no, Cole Deaver right now seems to have the strongest car. Daniel Bouchard looks there. RJ Bishop, the last time we saw him in a plate race, he got into a wreck.
How about Daniel Bouchard in that Twisted T car? Well, Carabel's not coming back next year, Vince. It'll be, yeah, you know, she's just not coming back. And Getting a win would be big for her on her way out, and this is her best chance to do it.
One last send off is Kukala and Turner. We talked about Turner last year at the end of 2020, how good he was. He's looking for a win tonight.
How about Scott Roush? 49th in the standings coming into this thing. One top 10, got it back at Daytona.
Here he goes at the pit road. It will be key. Now we're about to hit those laps for the guys that didn't come in the first round. They're going to be coming in or 14 or 15, I think.
Well, where are those drivers is the better question.
Middle of the pack. There's Ellison. Just Tringali.
Tringali's down to the pit lane. Lap 14 to 15. By himself. Now he just needs to hope that he gets out in front of him and he gets a caution.
Might get it right here. They keep that 4 wide up.
How about this top two, though? Bell and Bouchard. Here comes Shelton. How about Logan Williams, another Toyota driver, your 2019 Jerky Pro champion? Turner's going to make a move on Bouchard.
What does Ellison do? He was part of that group. He's right next in front. Dylan Young. Dylan Young does not need a major slowdown. You see some guys who are ready to pit here.
Ace Rogers checked up. Ellison checked up. Remember, when you're pitting from the pack like this is where things get dicey. What is Ace thinking? Oh, Ace is coming in. Ellison's coming in. Brock's coming in. You see, Logan Williams really lost the draft from going to the apron a couple of laps ago. See, Nate Rogers got held up from something. So who's left to pit? I believe we're missing 2, Vince.
Yeah, we are. I'm trying to think. Was it the 80? No, I don't think. Matt Rod was 1. I know that.
Matthew Rodriguez was one of them. He's right there behind Colt Hudson. And I can't remember for the life of me who the other one was. There's Tringali. You see him out of pit road. Turner going to go to the lead on Carabell. Matt Rod will pit here by himself. I'm not sure who the 6th car was. It is slipping me mind. But
Or they already pit.
No, I believe they're stuck on the top.
Was it Scott? No.
I'm not sure. I don't want to say a name and be incorrect. William Brock is going to come out and be about lapped already. He had a poor stop compared to Tringali as Bell goes to his outside. Oh, that's tight. We'll catch Ellison and Ace Rogers next. So there is somebody still left here. Bell continues to lead. Oh, it's Brock. Brock hasn't pit. No, Brock just came out of pit road. What am I saying? Well, whoever it is, they have made it last. They have made it last, Vince. For how much longer, I'm not really sure. It's 18 laps now.
Great work by the crew chief with the fuel calculation. Maybe they're trying to extend the gap and be the guys who came in the lap 6 pits down pit with them, but right now it seems like Carabell is just controlling the pace. Peter Anjay, isn't that the guy who you picked at the start of the show? He's looking pretty good.
Can't for the life of me remember who this last driver is supposed to be that has to pit. There's Roush and Bouchard pitting. It might have been one of them, I'm not sure.
I thought it was Roush, but I could be wrong.
Anyway, the pack has been greatly split up from all these drivers pitting. That has hurt Allison Rain tremendously.
Doesn't look good for a new winner unless you're Jessica Shelton.
So we went from a 31 car pack to a now 24 car pack. As we've about entered that pit window. You see a lot of people with their hands out the window, Vince, pitting around lap 19 already. Bishop, you see Bishop checking up. Carabell will lead a lot of these drivers into the pit lane. Kukulon is one of them. But Rain is the most important here, but she's at the back of this pack. Priya McShane, of course, we know, battling Matthew Rodriguez. Here comes Kev Shearer. He might get into some draft with how much those others had to check up. Now remember, Ace and Ellison already pit. They are tail end of this lead lap pack here. They've managed to stay tango here, Vince.
Yeah.
Tringale's getting shuffled by drivers about a pit. That could cost Tringale staying in the 63 and 88 draft. Shelton will come in. He does have William Brock, though. Dylan Young's coming in. And Andrew Rich will come into the pit lane as well. There's Kev Shearer. A lot of drivers coming out of pit road. Rain and Keith Rich side by side, making it work. Rain not wanting to give an inch. Oh, that's about going to get her turned by Keith.
Great save.
Leading this race right now is the 14 of Alexander Rowe. I believe he is the last to have to pit. And here he comes. Everybody else has been to the pit road. See, Rain, though.
Recycle.
Rain is nowhere near the front of the draft. Front of the draft, I believe, is going to be right here with Logan York. Logan York had an amazing pit stop. So did Shelton and Dylan Young. There's Carabelle. See Ace Rogers, Ellison. Edwin Justice is up here. There's Tringale. All right, and now, Vince, it looks like Tringale, Dylan Young, and Shelton have the best chance at this thing. Look at Logan York's pit stop, though, man. Good grief.
Dylan Young's looking for a home win in a way. There's Rowe. He might actually be okay.
The draft is going to be big here. You can only run about 215 by yourself. 225,
yeah,
227 in draft. Rowe will come out right here, just ahead of York. York will pass him here going into turn 3, and there's the pack of wolves behind them. Oskin will be the next lap car, as will Charles Sanford, and then it's peace and quiet after that.
That the games are set. Jessica Shelton is now going to lead this pack back to Rowe, and I'm presuming we're going to say Logan York in a lap or two. Yeah, one lap, they'll be all caught up, I think.
Here comes Shelton. She's going to get the door shut on her, but she ducks back low. Made Rowe think about it.
Edwin Justice and Carabelle. Toyota is looking strong tonight. Can they do it with 3 of the top 4?
Now the question is, will we even see another yellow flag? So Rowe can make it the longest on gas. So that's looking pretty good for him. But this is the calm point of the race here, where these guys are just going to be, you know, shuffling positions. It is a 16 car lead pack, which is pretty good for Pensacola standards. You know, usually we get down to less than 10 at the front of the field, so, you know, 16 cars is healthy to see. And then 17th to 24th, they are packed up. A tough break, though, for Allison Rain, as I apologize for yet another voice crack. Priya McShane's running in 30th, though, Vince. Matt Rod's up here in the lead pack. I think Matt Rod's looking pretty good to stay locked into the top 30 heading into Chicagoland.
Yeah, barring a caution, right? We never know. We could get a caution, but as of right now, it doesn't look at Brock. 4 wide. He's saying, I'm not done yet. Dylan Young, he's going to try and shove the issue. James Ellison with... Uh-oh, here we go.
Catching some at Oskin here. Dylan's all the way on the bottom. This is going to help him big time. Oh, Ellison's going to move him up a lane, though, and that's going to hurt Bishop. Shelton's up on the top. She's got draft, though, with Tringale. Carabelle and Kukulon will get stuck from behind this. Tringale getting held up a lot more than I thought, actually. That'll single them out. That could allow this second group to catch just a bit. 2 more Roush Fenway cars in that group to help Jesse Turner, Vince. As Sanford gets caught the next lap. Turner to the lead. Brock right in second. Ellison, Ace, Rowe all get held up. Shelton jumps right to the bottom. Getting that teamwork help. Just think S3 Motorsports is going to be a 4-car team next season. Charles and Jessica will be back. Seth Cole will drive the 07. And Henry Sanford will drive the 06. Ace and Ellison and Rowe continuously getting held up here. That second group closing. They're going to catch Oskin and Charles together at the same time. So that stretched out the pack. Now 3-wide battle for the lead between Brock, Hudson, and Turner. And just looking at this group here, Vince, very quickly. Shelton's got 1 career win, Daytona 500. Turner's got 2 that he got last season. Deaver hasn't won since 2019. Dylan Young, of course, we know has multiple wins this year. Tringali hasn't won since 2019 as well. Kukulon got the 1 win last year. He's got a win a season going since he started racing in 2019. Of course, Ace Rogers got 1 win last year at Richmond, and Rowe is a multi-time winner as well. So, you know, I'd say good stories, though, no matter what. No matter who wins this race, you're going to have potentially a first-time winner, someone who hasn't won in a while. And then, of course, you've got Shelton, Tringali, and Dylan Young, who need to win to punch their ticket to the finale.
Yeah, there's not really anybody who just has a long story or in terms of a dominant. There's no dominant. I mean, Dylan Young, but he hasn't been there anywhere since, what, May? He hasn't been off the map. So now the fuel games are going to start coming into play in 2 laps. You see Tringali go 4 wide. What do you do here? If you're William Brock, you got to come in early. The only hope at this point is you find a nice pack and close the gap. You're going to have to take more fuel than the rest. You got to look for Rowe. He came in the latest.
Logan Williams and Kev Shearer are the next 2 cars up, but they're all the way on turn 1. Maybe slim odds that they even catch them. This could be just a race between the pack for the rest of the night. As I think Tringali might have his hand out the window already. Yep, he's hovering that yellow line. To pit road he will go. He'll be the first one in. That's going to check up Dylan Young. That's big. Dylan's going to get that draft, though, and draft right back up. How about Colt Hudson, though, Vince? He got that win back at Springfield in Jerky Pro. Could Colt Hudson get first career wins in both series this season? That's something that doesn't really get done a lot.
No, it doesn't. I think they win a dual race, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
But that was about it. But how about that? Triple Eight's behind him. We got Kukulon and Ellison. The Triple Eight gang is out to play.
Ellison, of course, would love to get a Digital Storm win this year or next.
He pitting?
I believe he is. He was one of those drivers that had stayed out under caution. So Ellison will pit next. Ace Rogers and William Brock down 2.
As expected.
That's not going to hinder the pack too much, I think, because Rain's group actually caught the second group. The second group must have really got held up by Sanford and Oskin. See Turner and Dylan Young straggling now, though, on the leaders. We've got just 12 drivers left up here, and they're going to just keep dropping. And I think that's going to be the best thing for guys like Tringali, Brock, the guys pitting early, is there's 12 people left here, and you could have 3 of them pit every lap, and they might take less fuel, but you're not going to lose that much time because of that.
Right, the draft is so important here. It doesn't matter if you're a single car. 215 is the max you can do, whereas the draft, 228, I mean, that's 13, 14 miles per hour.
There's Tringali in turn 1. He's going to pass Brock and Ace. He might get to the bumper. Actually, no, he might just pair up with Ace here and then draft up to Ellison. Ellison had a very good stop. There's Brock, and there are the leaders. If they get lapped here, no big deal. They're going to stay out. The rest of these guys are going to have to pit. But if you can stay in front of them, that bodes well.
What do you do if you're Cole Hudson and Kukulon, guys that haven't won all season? Is this your chance? Do you take the gamble? There's Brock. There comes Matt Rod.
Matt Rod will come into the pit road. Turner and Dylan Young lost the draft, Vince.
Oh,
Shelton got held up there, too. Hudson will put Brock a lap down. You know what would really throw a wrench into all this is a caution, Vince.
caution would kill everyone's hopes. Then it would be pandemonium at the end of this thing.
Well, actually, if Tringali and Ace stayed on the lead lap, same with Ellison, they would be able to stay out. That put them in good track position hands, but I don't foresee a caution at all here. I mean, I think this is a fuel strategy race to the finish.
Question is, who's going to blink first? As you see, looks like Brock's going to catch Tringali and Rogers with that pack.
Yep, Hudson will catch Tringali and Ace Rogers. It is just a 5-car lead pack here as Tringali tried to hold up Hudson. But just look at this pack, Vince. I mean, Hudson, Bishop, Logan York, Kukulon, Carabel. I mean, geez, any of those win, that's huge. That's first time winner territory for all of them, except Kukulon.
Yeah, Memphis. I know he won Memphis at a short track.
And Dodge Motordrome in 2019.
2019, what a year, huh? Let's see, Ellison now will be caught. Now, someone might be coming in here. Yep.
Kukulon's pitting, Bishop's pitting, and Hudson is pitting. No, Hudson is not
he's not.
pitting. I thought he was for a second there. That really checked up Bell and Tringali. Shelton has continued to stay out. Justice comes in. There's Allison Rain. Dylan Young has yet to pit. Now the field's really broken up. Hudson leads. He's side by side with Logan York and Carabel. Where did Carabel go? Oh, she faded back too. Now, where are the rest of these guys coming out? There's Matt Rod. Matt Rod and Scott Roush came out in front of Ellison. And they were behind too. Hudson will pit. Logan will stay out. Bell will pit. Here comes Tringali, or not Tringali, Dylan Young. Dylan Young, Deaver, and Turner. Shelton will stay out another lap.
And Rowe.
Yes, indeed, and Rowe. And Logan York. Where are the rest of our leaders coming out? Oh, Vince, it's not even a chance. Bishop, Kukulon, and Justice are already in turn 3. Staying out as long as possible was the way to go here. Can York get down to the bottom here? Yeah, he wants to pit. Coming to 5 to go. Yeah, staying out under that first caution was not the way to go. York to pit road. Rowe and Shelton will follow. These three, I think, have the best chance at winning this thing. Everybody else has been to the pit lane. Carabel and Hudson coming out, right, with Quentin Moore, who's a lap down. There's Deaver, Ferranti, who's a lap down. There's Turner. There's Dylan Young. Is he in the draft? Oh, I don't think he is. Might get lucky here with Ferranti holding these guys up, but there's a long way to go to Carabel. There comes Shelton Rowe. There's Logan York. Shelton's looking like she's got a pretty good shot at this thing. She's got draft with Rowe, but there's Carabel and Hudson. They're going to go by these two very fast here, and York is all by himself. Oh, what a move by Deaver and Turner. Oh, but Justice is going to get held up. Dylan Young's in this pack, though. This pack might just catch the leaders, Vince. They're pretty strung out. It's going to be York. Man. It's going to be York, Bell, and Hudson, top 3 at the front, coming to 4 to go. Bell wants to get to the lead. I don't blame her, but was that the move to go? Actually, no, yeah, because York's going to get right in line here. That pack is 3.6 seconds behind with what will be, actually no, 2.5 now with Rowe and Shelton. If they merge up, that's going to be 4th to 11th in a pack.
This is going to come down to timing. You don't want to be side by side. This actually will help, but once they get to you, you got to single file out because right now 2.5 seconds is tough to make up unless the top three start dicing it up.
York is just still in line. Hudson, no chance at making a move just yet. And they will not catch anybody.
Find the gap here. This is going to be tight.
Shelton made a move on Rowe to put her in 4th. But it looks like it's going to be down to Shelton or Dylan Young winning this race and making the finale, punching their ticket. But right now, looking like slim odds, 3.5 seconds back to the top 3. All of these drivers have yet to win a race in their Cup career.
That one is that Toyota's got 66.6 odds to win this race, 2 out of 3.
Well, you had to say it like that. I don't know if they have any chance now.
See, it depends if Logan York does good manufactured teammate work and puts Hudson on the outside. That's going to be the key.
No, he goes to the bottom, but Hudson stays in line with Bell. 2 to go. That time by at the start-finish line, and that pack is not closing in.
You got to feel for Dylan Young, man, Shelton. They tried, barring a miracle here.
They would need these 3 to go 3 wide, Vince. But Bell has had such a car under her today.
On the back stretch for the second to last time.
The
second to last time in this cutoff race.
I don't even know if Hudson has enough power to get draft. It looks like York can get to his bumper, but Hudson's not doing anything to get the bells. White flag will be out this time by. If York wants a shot at this win, he's going to have to make a move on Hudson here in the turn 1. He is right there. There's the move. See Bell trying to play the draft lines. York to Hudson's inside. Zach Flickinger, I don't think will be a factor. York moves into second. Can he get a run on Carabelle? They're about even. And they are 4 wide behind them. Just can't do anything.
That doesn't look good. But Carabelle, this is her last season, her first and maybe only season in this series or forever. Looking for that one last Bell lap for the win.
Toyota will finally get one. Since 2019, it comes again at Pensacola. And Carabelle is an NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series winner. First win for Toyota since 2019. First win for Red Bull since 2019.
Carabelle and Red Bull are going to party like it's 2019.
Bishop 4th, Turner 5th, Rowe, Deaver, Justice, Young, Kukalon, the top 10. And our finale is set, Vince. Sorlin, Sanford, Oskin, Nate Rogers. Highest finisher out of those 4 will win the title next week at Chicagoland. How about,
no matter how many times we change it, it's still 4.
How about Scott Roush with a 12th place effort? Tringali got 13th. Tough break for Rain. What a season for her. Won't be fighting for a championship. Heck, Oskin with the chance to go back-to-back just like Rain did from 2018 to 2019. But a 75% chance at a new champion this year in the form of either Zorlin, Sanford, or Nate Rogers. Honestly, Vince, my money's on Sanford, but Sorlin is just as good at the intermediates. It's going to be a really good race, I think, between those two. And I think Oskin will have a good chance as well. Nate, I'm not so sure. He hasn't had as much success on intermediates as Sorlin and Sanford. But I think it'll be a great race. Nate finished 27th tonight. And, you know, only 5 drivers failed to finish this race. Priya McShane getting 30th, Matt Rod 22nd, so top 30 in owner points will not change tonight. That'll be a 15-point gap heading into Chicagoland. If McShane, not McShane, yes, no, McShane. If McShane fails to make the race, top 30 will be set for next year. If she does make the race, there's a chance she could bump Matt Rod out. Which the only importance is we believe those 71 points will go to Henry Sanford next year for S3. That is the belief at this moment.
Yeah, it was a good night. That we talked about pressure and who will claim the pressure tonight, who will shine the brightest. And Carabelle, Toyota showed out. And even though Jessica Shelton didn't get the job done, you got to give her credit. And same with Dylan. They tried everything and threw everything at it.
Well, that'll do it for us from Pensacola. We will see you guys next weekend for finale racing from Chicagoland. Crowning the Jerky Pro Truck Series champion. 3-horse race over there on full season points. And a 4-horse race over here. Highest finisher will get the trophy next week. We'll see you guys then.
Finale time, baby.